Go. Okay, so this is our test kit. This side here does the chlorine measurements. This side here does the pH. So our first thing that we need to do is get the water sample. We want to take the water sample from elbow depth. I'll do that. So when you're going sample bottle down, turn it up, give it a rinse out, down, turn up. And then we can give it a little bit of a shake to get the levels down. So that's perfect for pH. And I'll have to shake the chlorine side out. Put the cap on so we don't lose any more. Lovely. So this is the DPD1s, is the chlorine test. One tablet in. And it'll turn, if there's chlorine in there, it'll start turning pink. I've done a test before, we know the pool doesn't have a whole lot of chlorine in there. We'll give that a bit of time to settle. On the pH side of things, we need to do two things. So you need to add chlorine remover to start with. Chlorine is a bleach. So if there's too much chlorine in the water, then it'll bleach out the colour we want to add later. So we just do with the bottle straight up and down, not on the side like that. You want it straight up and down to give a proper volume drop. One drop in there. Little shake up. And then we have 5 drops of phenol red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cap on. And this pH is really quite high, which is a good example. So when you look and compare the colour there, until it's stronger than 8.2 colour, so it's up somewhere above 8.2. So the next thing we need to work out is acid demand. This is the beauty of the 4-in-1 test kit, that you can actually work out based on your chart here how much acid to put in. So we do that with the acid demand solution. So this is like a controlled acid. We'll start with a couple of drops. We just basically need to count the drops. 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking to find what number of drops gets the colour back down to where we want it to be, a nice orangey sort of colour. And there may be quite a few drops needed for this pool, because we know it's got high pH and high alkalinity. Try another 3. It's starting to lighten up a little bit there, I think. Yeah, it's starting to lighten up. Yeah. I reckon one more drop and that'll be a nice orange colour. Maybe even see how the colour has changed a bit there. Yeah. So what do we think? That's pretty close, isn't it? That's pretty close. I think if I do another drop in there, it's going to come down too far. So that was 6 drops. So ideally, when you're testing stuff which is more like only in the 8.0, 8.1, you won't need 6 drops. You just do 1 drop at a time. And then when you get really good, it'll just be 1 drop and it'll get to the right colour, which means then you're having a lot less in the way of acid to add each time. So this pool, I think, is about, say, 30,000 litres. So 30,000 litres, we had to use 6 drops. So that's telling us that we need to add 1.05 litres of acid. Probably I'd do that in 2 lots to bring the pH down from 8.4 down to where we want it to be, which is more in the mid-7s.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the 4-in-1 test kit. The 4-in-1 also does the alkalinity testing as well. I don't like it. It's not that accurate. You can fiddle around with it if you want, but never take any action based on what you find with the alkalinity testing. Basically, use it as a guide that, hey, maybe my alkalinity is out. I better get a sample up to the shop and get tested on the $1,000 tester rather than the $40 tester.